of different, okay, maybe for example, in a whole day, in what did you do in the day? Did you eat? Did you sleep? Did you work? Did you play? You understand? And you are trying to allocate, okay, how many hours did I use to play? How many hours did I use to work? Did I use to sleep? So it will not give you a form of, okay, it will give you a kind of pie chart graph to show the percentage. So in this case now, let's say for example, in maybe yesterday you ate, yes, you slept, you work and you played, right? So maybe you spend maybe you spend 3 hours now for eating, 7 hours for sleeping, then 8 hours at your place of work, and when you came back home, you played for 6 hours. Just example. So once you do, these are the activity, these are the slices, then this the color now. The color, this can be you can make this to be, it can be hour. Let us use, you can say hours. Let's use hours for these activities. So now color for each label, because we want to plot a graph, so we have to give each of them. So we have 4 activities, right? So we have to give, so the 4 for each is going to be red. Red stand for R for red, Y for yellow, G for green, and B for blue. Are you with me? So now let's go and plot now. plt.py. Do you see that now? Then what we have here is hours, right? Label, the label is the activity. This is the label, and the colors equals to colors. We've already defined this. So the starting angle is 90 degree. That's just the general thing. Then the shadow. So in this place, you have to, for you to have a shadow, you have to make it true. Just set this to true and explode. For this, just put 0, 0, 0.10. Then the radius. Now the radius is talking about how big do you want it to be. The radius and the auto part. This is all these ones. Just leave these ones. These are just normal legend, normal values that you put. And sorry, when you run this, it's going to give you this. Can you see? So we also have legend. Okay, sorry, let me plt.show. Now, can you see this? So it says out of 100% of your activity, you use 12.5% for what? For eating. Sleeping took 29.3%, while you spend 33.3% at work and 25% at your place of work. Do you see that? And you can see the legend. Legend is what is red is eating, though it has labeled it for you. Sleep is yellow, green is work, while blue is play. Do you see that now? So in this case, you can also, like I used to tell you guys, you can also manipulate these values. You understand? You can also manipulate these values to suit your. There are times that you, okay, let's change this to 45. Let's see what happens. Can you see this? I think changing it to 45, it changes the location of. Let me change this to 180 and see. So there are times for you to understand some things, you can just try to change the value to see. I don't really see much difference. Okay, I think this is just talking about this. Okay. So you can as well change the let's increase the radius to 2. I think that will make it bigger. Yeah, so because the radius is from here to here. So if the radius is bigger, then the plot is going to be bigger. Are you getting it? So I'm trying to look at how I'm trying to see, we should be able to put this legend outside. Let's see what you can do. Let's change this to 0 and see what happens. Okay, okay. The explode is just trying to. So can you see? Even me myself that I do not know how these things affect. So that's how. So those are the things we can just try to change this value for you to have a better understanding of how the plot works. You understand? So you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can decide to change the color as well. There is no problem about that. So let's look for another color. I'm coming. Let me look at something. That color is nice. Yeah, I'm just trying to work on. I'm trying to see how I can take this legend out. So let me try to see. Maybe the only way you can do if we increase if we reduce. Yeah, if you reduce this, but it won't really. That's too small. That's too small. That's the only two ways you can do that. But what you can do is you can probably reduce this. Then when you copy it, then because it won't really proper for your legend to fall on this. So let me copy this. Let's go to Word and see something. So even if it is small, then you can increase it because it won't be proper for your legend to fall on your graph. Then this particular thing, I don't think there is need for us to put it there. It doesn't add any value. What we just need to know is to so there may not be need for you to put that. So therefore you can just change it back to 0. And you see, so that side is covered already. Then this legend also still falls on the play. So let's try to reduce to. Let's see if we put it in 6, maybe it will be smaller. Yeah, I think this is fine, right? So because as you are doing your work, you have to make your graph to be presentable. It won't really make sense for your legend to overlap on your graph. It won't. Can you see this now? So even if it is small there, by the time you copy it to your Word document, you can enlarge it. I believe we all know that, and you can even crop it to make it better. Let's see this. You see this now. So your graph is bigger and your legend is not falling. It's not falling on it, which is great. So let's assume maybe this is just economy, and maybe your budget. Probably you have a budget. Maybe you want to present your year budget to that amount. Okay, I will need this amount for textbook. I will need this amount for feeding. I will need this amount for school fees. And you want to be professional in your presentation. Either Brand and Daniel. I want to okay, maybe this is my budget for the year 2020, and I want to be professional. So you can just put something of this, forward to them. Okay, 20% is going to be for my school fees. This will be for my maintenance. I'm just joking actually, but at times there are times you want to be playful at home and you want to be professional with your presentations. So that's that. So you can, like I said, you can change this. This could be maybe the economy you are trying to look at. Okay, the number of maybe people that work with Google, the number of people that make use of of Google Play, number of people that make use of YouTube because YouTube has Google, or maybe number of people that use Facebook, compare number of people that use Instagram or WhatsApp. You can make it in a more when you are in certain in a meeting, some meetings, you can't be explaining. In fact, explaining will take your time. But if you have something like this, before you explain, everybody already knows the outcome of your presentation. So all these things helps you in putting together a good presentation. So let's look one or two more. So I will maybe maybe I'm going to stop here, or so that I can take time and compile and send to you as I will done and send this whole script to you guys before 12. So another one is you can also make a plot. You can also plot some curves of giving you questions. And I know many of you in engineering, you might have come across things like this, you know. So, and in this case now, if you want to do this, anytime you want to use some functions, you have to import another module called numpy. You know, when I was explaining to yesterday, I think you guys came late. It was Daniel and I made mention of numpy, scipy, pandas, matplotlib, sklearn, and many of them. Understand? So another important module is the numpy. The numpy is almost like pandas, but pandas is used for data frame. One numpy is used for arrays of data. That's what numpy is used for. So for you to do this make use of this graph. For you to plot this graph, you make use of the matplotlib module and the numpy module. So we have imported the matplotlib modules. So the next thing is to install, and I've already installed this numpy on my laptop. So the next thing what I'm doing here is to import it. And you can see I said import numpy as np. So if Bran or Daniel is doing their own, they can say import as n. You understand? But I'm using mine as np. So you have to be watchful of this. If you are copying a script from someone, you have to know what format do they import their modules or packages. You understand? So in this case, I just want to say, okay, set the x coordinate. Now, when there is a function on this numpy that is called arrange, let me do so. Let me show you this arrange. Okay. Now before I go to this, let me explain some few things to you about numpy. When you want to make use of science, when you want to make use of mathematical formulas, constant like pi, sine, cosine, you understand? Tan, you remember? Cos, log, pi, and the rest. You make use of the numpy package. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let me yes, I've imported this, right? Now, if for example, if I want to calculate area of a circle, for example, area of a circle, let's look for the formula. Area of a circle, this is the formula for area of a circle. Area is equals to what? Pi multiplied by r square, right? So let's go back. Now, if that is now, I want to calculate area of a circle. So I can just use the def okay, let's say I think I divine, let's say divine radius now. If I want to find, so I will say area is equals to, are you getting me? Now it says area of a circle is pi times radius, right? So I will say I've imported numpy because I want to use pi. I will now say np dot pi. Are you getting me? Times r raised to power 2. Do you get that now? So print area. So I think I made a mistake somewhere. Okay, don't let me use this function. Let me just do normal. Let me just use now. So now I want to use pi. So let's assume the radius of I know the radius. I want to calculate the area of a circle. Are you getting me? I know let's say the radius is 8. Are you getting me? And don't forget in our mathematics, pi is 22 divided by 7, right? That's 3.1 or so, isn't it? Do you guys remember? So instead of me using 22 times 8 raised to the power 2, I will just use the function np.pi. Are you getting me? Can you see? Do you see that? Because automatically
Yes, sir.
np, this numpy module is a mathematical module that contains mathematical formulas like pi, sine, cos, tan. Every mathematical formula we can think of is there. So instead of me, this thing I did there, I can do it in another way. I can do it. Let me show you another way I can do it. I can say area, sorry, area equals to, let me see, and I know this is pi is 22 divided by 7, isn't it? Times 8 raised to power 2. If I should calculate it, so I will say print area, right? Let me make this. This is 3.01, like that. Why is this now? Here is equals to, here is equals to, okay, let's say 2 raised to power 8 raised to power 264. Right. It's supposed to work out. Let me see. Area is equals to, area divided by 64. Why is this not going? I don't know why this thing is not going. Bye. I don't know why this is not working. But what I'm trying to say is, without you using pi, we can put the exact formula here. But in case you don't know what pi means, you make use of this n pi. You understand? You make use of this n pi. Another function on this n pi is you can say n pi dot arrange. I say n pi arrange the what is should it maybe it as disconnected or what? Then why it's not showing? I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It's not running. It's supposed to run. I don't know why. Is equals to, so let's see 3.01, right? Multiply by 8 raised to power 2. Can you see this now? Let me now see print area. So do you see this now? But let me be sure with that. I think it's 22 divided by 7. That's 3.14. Okay, 3.14. Do you see that it's the same with this? So what I'm trying to say is the numpy contains mathematical formulas. You understand? And instead of what I did here, I know the value of pi, right? I know it's 3.14 is pi times 8 raised to power 2. So if the radius of the circle is 8 raised to power 2 times 3.14 gives me this approximately 201, right? But in a situation whereby I'm not privileged to know the value of pi, this constant. For example, when you want to multiply with, maybe you want to multiply with log of 20 and you don't know the log of 20, so you don't need to stress yourself. We just make use of this numpy module for, you just say numpy dot pi times, so let's times this. The numpy already has information about the original formula of pi. So let's see if I can do log of, maybe log of 20. Numpy dot log. Let me see if this works. I don't think I get that. Okay. Let's see what we have here now. Now, based on this, it says let's set the x-axis. The x-axis is okay. This is Okay, let me show you one additional thing about this. When you want to form some subsets, you can use the numpy arrange function. If I say numpy arrange is 0 to 10, let me show you what I mean. Let me show you. Now look at it. If you know initially what we did the other time, we try to put values. You see value for the boys, for the male, for the female. Let me show you. Here we input the values. But when you are working on NumPy, you can make use of a function to set values. For example, if you look at what I have here, I said x is equals to NumPy arrange from 0 to 10. What this means is NumPy should assign into x and some number that will start from 0 and stop at 9. So if I say 10, 10 will not be included. It will stop at 9. If I say 20, let me say 20. It will end at 19. From 0 to what? To 19. Did you guys see that? So now another thing in NumPy, I can decide to say, okay, if I want it to be from 20, I want it to have interval of maybe like 2 interval. I want you to look at, okay, let me put this, let me show you the difference between these two. Look at this. Let me make another one. Let me now say, let me put it y equals to numpy.arrange. Now start from 0, right? Stop at 20, but let it have an interval of 2. Do you see the difference? This one it means from 0 to the last number that does not include this one. So from 0 to 19. 1, 2, 3 to 19. Now this one says from 0 to the last number, this number is not included, but the last number with an interval of 2. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So anytime I want to use x now, so I've automatically assigned these values into x, into y. Can you see? So when you are working with arrays, these are what this is what they call arrays. You use NumPy. But when you are working with lists or just normal assignments, you use the pandas that we have been using before. So can you see this now? So now what you are trying to do in this place is, okay, if you look at this now, this is just a simple mathematics. This person says, okay, x is equals to make a list. Let me show you what they did there. I want you is let's have this. Let me call it z. Z is equals to np dot arrange, right? It says make a list of number, assign it to z from 0 now to 2 raised to 2 times numpy. What is numpy? Is 3.1 what? What is pi? Is 3.14, right? Am I correct? So let's assume we don't know numpy. Let's say 2 times pi. Are you getting me? Comma, and let it be an interval of 1. So what is z? So let's print z now for us. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, can you see what happened here? The first question I will ask you, 2 times 3.14 is what? That should be 6.6. 6.2, let's be precise, times 2. That's 6.3 approximately. Are you getting it? 6.3. So what we are saying there is make a list from 0 to 6.3. Are you getting me? And let the interval between them be 0.1. So it says from 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and the value here is 6.3, right? So by the time it got to 6.2, it stopped. Do you see that? Now, these people want to make a graph. They now define their x, like, okay, x equals to numpy, all this value. So their x, so I can say in this place now. So what we have here is what we have here. But instead of them writing this list, a very long list, they just use their Python understanding to form this list. NumPy arrange from 0 2 times 3.14, which is from 0 to 6.3 with an interval of 0.1. So x equals to this. Now that's their x. Their y now. They now say their y is equals to numpy sine of these values. So let's look at sine of this. Can you see how people think? So they say that y is equals to, so in their y is equals to, no, it won't go there. It has to be. So okay, let me go. So what they are saying there is, let me use z. So they are saying that their y is equals to numpy sine z. So what this is saying is we have already defined what x equals to this, right? So this our y, the y, we now go and begin to find what is the sign of, what is this sign of 0, what is the sign of 1. So if I should click this now and type y, can you see the sign of 1 is of 0 is 0, of 0.1 is 0.099, of this is equal to, can you see what they did here? So now once they have done that, they assign that as y, x, y. Now they now say, okay, let's now plot a graph of x versus y and print. Sorry, what is it? Okay, I'm sorry, I put stop. Can you see? Can you see what I have here? Because of the stop of the full stop. Can you see that? So what they only did is they make a value, they plotted this value, then they find the sign of this value and they plot it against each other. And this, so can you see that? So in this case, we can, let's put title, let's put label, right? Okay, yeah, let's just leave it. So can you see what they did there? Okay. Okay, let's go and let's put title. Let's just copy this, that place, and show it. So in this place, so their x label is going to, x is what? Let's make it x as this. So the y label so okay, so x axis is going to be, we now call that, we're going to call it the sign time x. So let's just use this. Let's remove this. Can you see? Because this is x. Let me just put it on x. So this is x. It is the sign of this x that we use to get these values. So we plot this against this. Can you see that? So I'm going to give you an assignment. It won't really be an assignment. It just be kind of advice to you guys. If you guys can, or maybe I will send you a YouTube link on how to work with pandas, Matplotlib, and NumPy. Or maybe I think I should have a script on that I can send to you. So you can use this to plot any form of graphs. Are you getting me? You can use this to plot any forms of graph that will be meaningful. And most of the time we have, like for example in my case, I do computational work. I plot graphs. So making use of this is great. You understand? So we can use them to, maybe next time I will take time to run on NumPy, just as we have looked at Matplotlib. But because we are moving towards the end of the program, and I have a university assignment starting from next week Monday. So I'm going to discuss with God Salvation, maybe my own project. I'm going to do the recording, and I'm going to send you the video, because the university assignment I have starting from next week start by 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 is a seminar till 5, and that's going to happen for 2 weeks. It's going to end on 27th of August, just as this program too is going to end on 27th of August. So next week I will ask God Salvation to continue his project with you. Then maybe I will do my own recording and send to you guys so that you can. I still want to show you guys how we can use machine learning to do some prediction and some accurate prediction. So do you get it? Any questions before I want to use the remaining 10 minutes to quickly compile those lists and send to you? Any questions? Hello?
No, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. In the absence of no any questions, so I'm going to send you the video, this video, as soon as it is ready, and I will compile more, apart from this one that we've talked on. I will compile more